For those who are coming for the first time, welcome to my channel. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the banging downstairs. If you can hear doof, 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 doof. That's not like a metronome in the background. We had a bit of a leak issue downstairs. They don't like me anymore. But they're fixing their ceiling. Anywho, back to the saxophone. This one's been requested loads. Really sorry it's taken me so long to get around to it, but I'm going to talk about my alto and my setup. So, I play on a Selma Series 2. The reason why, it's a super action by the way, the reason why I chose Series 2, I just found it was the best for keeping in tune, and that was one of my main issues, was tuning. The neck joint is a solid silver Selma, which just brightens up the tone a little bit. I do a lot of kind of sax and DJ stuff and some big band stuff where I need to have a bit of punch, and I'm not a fan of metal mouthpieces on altos. So to just get a little bit more punch and a bit more oomph out of it, I've gone for a solid silver guy here. Now my mouthpiece is a Rosso Studio Jazz, which is, I think it's a sort of middle opening, maybe a 5 or a 6, kind of in the middle-ish. And just for me, I found it had the right kind of poppy sound, but I could also use it in like sax quartet, more kind of classical playing where I need to blend a bit more. I'm not the kind of person that particularly swaps around with mouthpieces. I like to just stick with one, and then I know all the little nuances and the tunings and things, and I can just stick with that. I've got a rather swanky ligature. I'll put links, by the way, to all of these items in the description box in case you're like, that ligature looks lovely, I'm going to buy one. Click, done. It's just too easy these days, isn't it? Especially with contactless cards. It doesn't even feel like you're paying for anything. You just go, bunk, paid, ta-da. Okay, so the ligature, it's a Vanderin, now what are these called? Vanderin Optimum. This is a rather grubby one because I got mine from eBay second hand. They're really clever actually. So basically you get these plates on the inside, and it comes with 3 different plates. Hardly any of the actual material touches the reed. I'll do a review on these at some point actually, because I do actually think they really change the sound. And you've got one that has points and one, I've gone for the one that has lines. And when you experiment with them, they really do have quite different tones depending on how they're holding the reed. So I absolutely love this ligature, wouldn't turn back, thought it was great. And then my reeds, I use the Rico Jazz Select 3 Soft. Those are the ones I tend to go for, and I find the packet's quite reliable. I normally have to fiddle around and change the last kind of 3, so I'll get about 7 that I like out of a pack of 10, and then maybe about 3 I don't like. If you haven't already come across my video on how to file your reeds and keep them going and look after them and how to change them when they're a little bit hard, there's going to be a little eye popping up there that will link you to that. It's actually a really handy video. I've found that I've probably saved quite a lot of money by changing those, those last few reeds in the box that you don't like. So that one's a good video to check out if you haven't done so already. So you'll notice it's quite tarnished. The lacquer's been taken off here. That's just a little insider Chez story. That used to have engravings all the way around. So if you've watched me from the beginning actually, you may even notice this. So if you go way back to some of my earliest videos, like I did Jubal right near the beginning, if you haven't already watched Jubal, check that one out as well. That'll be popping up just there. And my ex engraved them for me, my hideous ex-husband. So we ditched him. He turned out to be a cheater. Got rid of him. And then it was almost like a tattoo. I thought, well, I better get that removed. So we now have this kind of tarnished look, which I think is kind of funky. So that's my alto setup. If you're interested in the other little bits and bobs I use, I'm a big fan of these stands because they fold up and go in the bell. It's actually very complicated how they fold up. So I'll put a link in the description box to the video. Sounds really patronising, but I did a video on how to take this stupid thing apart, because the first time I got it, I was like, can't work it out, and it doesn't come with instructions either. And then the case I use is a ProTech. Love this case. It comes with back straps, which you have to buy separately, which I think is a complete rip-off. So that's why you can see that mine are completely knackered and I've not replaced them, because they're about £30. It's a bit of a rip-off. But I like this case because it fits loads in. So you've got a back pocket where you can sort of fit A4 music in. It sticks out a bit, but it doesn't seem to fall out. But my iPad fits perfectly in there. And then on the front, you've got your front pocket, which I can fit my flute in or my clarinet, and just cruise around with the backpacks, and the weight is distributed over both shoulders. I wouldn't recommend this case for tenor. I had the tenor one and ditched it because it's just so heavy. So as an alto one, it is quite heavy. But for me, it sort of evens out with the pockets because I travel with the alto a lot. So I have all of like my wash stuff and makeup and things all hidden in the front here, or even my microphone. I can just about sort of squeeze the pack in the front of there for traveling as well. So I do think this is the one for me for alto, but wouldn't recommend it for tenor unless you're particularly hardy and manly. I think that's all I'm going to talk about with my alto setup. So again, apologies it took me so long to get around to that. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did and it was useful for you. As I said, links to all these bits and bobs in the description box. I'm going to go now and go and strangle my neighbour who has been hammering since like 7 AM today. Yeah, cheerio for now. Subscribe if you haven't done already. Love you.